One stock that is about to skyrocket right now. They are a cybersecurity stock, and with AI ramping up, security is more important than ever. This stock was the subject of controversy in the middle of 2024 when they had a bit of an outage, and that wouldn't be such a big deal except they're a cybersecurity stock. So when you serve a lot of companies in the Fortune 500, including airlines, and thousands of flights have to be canceled, that's a problem. So since then, CrowdStrike, CRWD is the ticker, has gotten back above a stock price that it fell to after that mishap, and it's looking strong heading into Q4 of 2025. If you like these sort of ideas, hit that like button. If you stick to the end of the video, I will tell you about our $1,000 guarantee, and let's get going. This is not financial advice.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 So this is the July 2024 CrowdStrike outage and the airlines affected. So it was all 6 airlines in the Fortune 500: Delta, United, American, grounded, about 1,000 flights or more, which is pretty gnarly. So this is the scale of CrowdStrike's ripple effect. Billions of dollars in damages, healthcare companies even involved, as well as banks. So it's no joke. Government agencies use CrowdStrike as well. They've investigated cyber attacks. There was the Sony Pictures hack, which was a little bit subject to humor, but also Democratic National Committee attacks. So they're basically integrated in our entire working world. And if you look at the chart back in, you can look at a weekly chart even, July 2024 was definitely a make or break moment for this company. It basically got cut in half. I mean, not actually, it went down from 60%, but it certainly looks extremely significant. Is that not in half from 400 to 200? I don't know how this, yeah, I guess negative 50% is cut in half. Anyway, so if you go down 50%, to go up to that same level, you have to go up 100%. That's sort of the beauty and the curse of percentages. But incredibly, CrowdStrike was able to do that, and now we're at all-time highs almost again after June of this year. So that is the buying opportunity for CrowdStrike right now. They sort of undercut this level, and then now we're coming to a buy level again. It is a slow-moving stock, about 3% a day. And they do have earnings coming up, but not for more than a month away as of the time of recording this video. So the strength is notable. And then even on a granular level, just today, if we look at the market, it's down about equivalent to a couple days ago. And if we look at CrowdStrike, well, it's not even close to a couple days ago. So definitely something shaping up here. This is not an option idea. I don't know exactly when it's going to go, but there's an opportunity to buy some equity, risk $5-10, and definitely make 20 or more if it does go up. So there's no guarantees in life, but I think this is a pretty great opportunity. CRWD. And if you look at its peers, Zscaler also shaping up, and then Rubrik software as well, sort of holding, not great. you have to think that this is the best opportunity compared to Zscaler, mainly just because of, I think this is a little bit choppy. It sort of reminds me of like a hymns in terms of going up and down, and then ultimately there was a failure there on hymns. So I'm not seeing, wiki CoreWeave price action, but I do think this is a better go than a sort of up and down move like Zscaler. They move about the same percent each day. So I know I'm not a day trader, you're not a day trader, but it never hurts to sort of be aware of what could happen on any particular day. So on today, there was a lot of strength there. So that's CrowdStrike. Now, a little difference between its peers. They're all trying to leverage AI, of course, or say they do. Rubrik, big SaaS company. CrowdStrike having all those Fortune 500 clients. And this is a major competitor, Zscaler. Neither of these have had outages of the same magnitude as CrowdStrike, but also if one company is responsible for so much of just everyday computing, you have to think it's pretty important. So this is a pretty massive ARR, 20 billion, compared to Rubrik, which is a little over $1 billion, and then a few billion for Zscaler. So they're not really peers in the sense of revenue. They're more like, a monopoly and then some follow-on competitors. And if we just look at market cap, it's sort of apparent, although these market caps are pretty high considering how the revenue differences are, 20 billion versus just a few billion of revenue. CrowdStrike's market cap is not quite reflecting that. So you could say it's undervalued, although you could also say that, you know what, this scare was pretty illuminating, and it scared a lot of people away. So that scare is probably going to be priced in for a while, and until some sort of new information comes out about their AI offering that gets the focus off of that outage, it's probable that that's going to always be in the back of investors' minds. So it is what it is. They also had a follow-on sort of outage in October of last year. This is quite a lot of computers. Airlines again being affected. Now, of course, this is what they would state, but the tough thing about being in security is that everyone hates you, right? Because when everything's working, there's nothing to talk about, right? There's just, why are we paying for this thing where nothing, it doesn't make us money. And then when you have an outage, it's, why are we paying for this thing that just cost us a lot of money? So it's definitely a cost center. And now it just has to shake out as to whether they're able to compete in this sort of AI world. So I've looked at a lot of stocks recently with these Q3 earnings coming out. Dell, Macy's, even Tesla. But as far as stocks to buy, I do think CrowdStrike is in the mix. And it's in the mix because its earnings haven't happened yet. So you're not gambling on earnings. So you're not buying a Galaxy Digital after it just went up on an earnings reaction and then sold off, and then the market sells off the previous day. So I'm not a proponent of just buying stocks that have good earnings coming into pre-market. This is not a breaking news type channel. It can be in certain cases, but right now these earnings reactions are not great. This is Tesla's earnings reaction so far today, this afternoon, this evening, and then Netflix, which released earnings a couple of days ago, is down significantly. So talked about GM being interesting, solid earnings reaction, super relative strength. Talked about Dell, which has some space before its next earnings. Macy's has some space before its next earnings. And by space, I mean you can buy it for a couple of weeks and you don't have to worry about earnings messing up your position. And now CrowdStrike also in that bucket with a safe level to buy off of, probably in the 490s, somewhere in that range, 495. And, it wicking off of that moving average, maybe wherever that moving average ends up in the next few days is where you buy. And then looking for $20 a share or more, which works out to about, well, $50 would be 10%, so 20 is a little under 5%, somewhere up in there, as a first price target, risking 1% or 2%. So that's the technical price level. That's a little about the company. And if you like these ideas, hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe. If you want to take your stock portfolio to the next level, look at our $1,000 guarantee in detail at stockscommunity.com. I'll tell you what it is. I guarantee you will make $1,000 in 90 days in stocks or your money back. So our help, my help, costs about $250 a month. And over 3 months, that's $750. So if you don't make $1,000 over that period, I give your $750 back. There's some testimonials on there already from people who had success with these ideas. Check them out. This is not financial advice, but hope it helped.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.